Here's the truth most men are terrified to face. Being a good guy has never made a woman see you as the man of her life. Plenty of good men get abandoned, cheated on, or forgotten the moment a stronger man enters the room. Women don't commit their soul to the man who's simply kind, polite, or available. They give themselves fully only to the man who makes them feel something they can't manufacture on their own. Certainty, respect, desire, destiny. If she doesn't see you as irreplaceable, she'll keep you around until the man who is shows up. And that's the brutal part. You don't get to decide if she sees you as the man of her life. She decides. But you control whether you become the kind of man who makes that decision inevitable. The kind of man whose presence changes how she breathes. The kind of man she can't imagine losing. The kind of man who doesn't just walk into her life. He defines it. Let's make something clear. You don't convince a woman to see you as the one. You don't beg for it, negotiate for it, or perform for it. You become it. And when you embody that role, she doesn't just want you, she can't unsee you. Her psychology wires itself to you. Her instincts submit to you. Her emotions lock onto you. But here's the tragedy. Most men never reach that level because they confuse comfort with respect, lust with loyalty, or attention with devotion. They chase validation instead of embodying presence. They mistake being wanted for being chosen. And there's a canyon of difference between the two. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That's the spine of this journey. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the blueprint. Not tricks, not lines, not fake strategies. The principles that make a woman look at you and silently decide, this is him. No other man exists. Number 1. Command respect before love. Here's the first law. If she doesn't respect you, she can't love you. Period. She might sleep with you. She might date you. She might even say she loves you. But if there's no respect, it's not devotion, it's convenience. And convenience ends the second something more exciting crosses her path. Respect is the root. Everything else grows from it. Psychologically, this is primal. Women are wired to attach themselves to men who embody strength, direction, and unshakable presence. Not the loud kind of strength that shouts, but the quiet kind that never bends. If she feels she can push you, manipulate you, or walk over you, she will never see you as her man for life. She'll use you until she's bored, then move on. Take Tom, 48. Twice divorced, bitter and broken. He thought being endlessly generous would make his third marriage work. He gave, he sacrificed, he never said no. But instead of seeing him as her rock, his wife saw him as her doormat. Eventually, she left him for a man who carried himself with half the resources but 10 times the backbone. Tom learned the hardest way possible. Love without respect isn't love at all, it's pity. Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. Respect starts with that. Mastery. If you don't command yourself, you can't command her respect. That means holding your boundaries. That means being willing to walk away. That means showing her that your self-worth isn't tied to her approval. The shift here is this. Stop chasing her affection. Start commanding her respect. Because once she respects you, she will choose to love you. But if you reverse it, if you try to win love before respect, you'll lose both. Number 2. Build an unshakable frame. Here's the reality. Women will test you. Some call them shit tests. Others call them games. But at the core it's biology. A woman cannot attach herself for life to a man whose frame she can easily bend. She will push, provoke, tease, challenge. Not because she's evil, but because she needs to know if you can hold steady when the storm comes. Psychologically, this is about security. A woman's deepest instinct is to pair with a man who won't collapse under pressure. If your emotions swing with hers, if your decisions wobble because of her moods, you're not a man, you're her puppet. And no woman deep down wants to submit to a puppet. She wants a fortress. She wants to lean against you and know you won't crack. Think of James, 36. He was dating a younger woman who constantly tested him. She'd go silent during arguments, throw sarcasm at him, Flirt lightly with other men in public to gauge his reaction. James used to lash out or sulk, until he started studying Stoicism. The next time she pulled it, he stayed calm. He looked her in the eye, smiled slightly, and carried on unfazed. Within weeks, her behavior changed. The teasing stopped. The sarcasm softened. Why? Because she realized her tests couldn't move him. He passed, and with that, her respect deepened into desire. Epictetus said, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Remember that. When she can shake you, she owns you. When you stay grounded, you own yourself. And that's what makes her trust you." The shift. Stop taking tests personally. Stop seeing them as attacks. See them for what they are. Her biology checking if you're the real deal. Hold your frame, stay composed, and she'll feel in her bones that you're the man of her life. Number 3. Make her feel safe enough to surrender. Now here's a paradox most men don't get. Women don't surrender to the man who makes them feel nice. They surrender to the man who makes them feel safe. And safety doesn't mean weakness. Safety means strength. Safety means presence. Safety means she can drop her guard without fear that you'll collapse, betray, or expose her. Psychologically, this is massive. A woman's femininity blossoms only in the presence of masculine stability. That's why so many women in modern dating seem hard, defensive, masculine. They're not that way by nature. They're that way because they've never felt safe with a man who could handle their softness. But when they meet that man, when they finally feel secure, everything changes. Picture Daniel, 29. He was dating casually, always ending up with women who kept their walls high. They'd joke, they'd flirt, but when it came time to open up, they froze. Then one night a woman told him, "I feel so safe with you." That was the shift. For the first time she let her guard down, because Daniel didn't pressure, didn't rush, didn't flinch. He simply held space with calm assurance. Within weeks, she wasn't just dating him. She was dreaming about a life with him. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Your bravery, your willingness to hold space without flinching, creates her freedom. Freedom to be soft, to be vulnerable, to surrender to you completely. That's when she sees you not just as a man, but as the man. The shift here is critical. Don't confuse safety with being a pushover. Safety isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about being strong enough, grounded enough, and present enough for her to relax into you. Because once she feels safe, she'll see you as the man she can't live without. Number 4. Show purpose beyond her. Here's a truth that cuts deep. The moment your entire life revolves around a woman, she loses respect for you. She may enjoy the attention at first, she may soak up the validation, but eventually she'll feel the truth. Your life has no greater purpose. And if you have no greater purpose, she can never see you as the man of her life. Psychologically, women are wired to attach to men who stand for something bigger than themselves. They want to join a man's mission, not be the mission. When you orbit her, when she becomes the sun and you become the planet, she feels the imbalance. Desire dies, respect fades, and soon she's searching for a man who pulls her into his orbit instead. Take Alex, 41. After his divorce, he threw himself into dating again. He became obsessed with one woman, texting constantly, planning his life around her schedule, waiting for her signals before making decisions. First she was flattered. Then she grew restless. One night she told him, "I feel like you don't stand for anything." That crushed him, but it was true. He had made her the center of his existence, and in doing so, he erased his own. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." If you crave her approval more than your mission, you are poor. True richness is having a purpose so strong that she chooses to follow it willingly. The shift here is non-negotiable. Build a life she can walk into, not a life that collapses without her. When your mission is bigger than her, she will fight to stay close to it. And that's when she sees you as the man of her life, not because you worship her, but because you lead her into something greater. Number 5. Master emotional composure. Now let's talk about emotional mastery, the silent killer of attraction for most men. A man who can't control his emotions becomes a burden. Jealousy, neediness, insecurity. These poison a woman's respect faster than anything. You cannot be the man of her life if you crumble every time she tests you, ignores a text, or looks at another man. Psychologically, this is about trust. A woman's subconscious is always scanning. Can he handle my storms? Can he handle the world's storms? Can he handle his own? If the answer is no, she might still enjoy you for a season, but she'll never invest her soul. Desire without trust is fragile. It shatters under the smallest weight. Picture Ryan, 32. He was ambitious, charismatic, magnetic. But every time his girlfriend didn't text back within an hour, he spiraled, sending long messages, accusing her of losing interest, questioning her loyalty. Within 6 months she was gone. Not because she didn't desire him, but because she couldn't trust his emotions. She didn't feel safe tying her life to a man who broke every time the wind shifted. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself but your judgment of it. Your reactions betray your discipline. If you are reactive, you are weak. If you are calm, you are unshakable." And women crave the unshakable man. A shift. Stop making your emotions her responsibility. Stop demanding reassurance every time you wobble. Own your state. Control your frame. When you master yourself, she'll see you as the anchor in a storm. And anchors are never abandoned. Number 6. Create intensity, then withdraw. Here's something most men will never understand. Desire doesn't grow in constant closeness. It grows in rhythm like fire. Too much fuel smothers it, too little and it burns out. To be the man of her life, you must know how to give intensity, then withdraw. To draw her in with presence, and then step back so she aches for more. Psychologically, this is tied to longing. A woman bonds through anticipation. When you flood her with constant attention, you rob her of the chance to crave you. But when you balance closeness with absence, you create an addictive cycle, one where she feels full in your presence and restless in your absence. That's what makes her think of you at midnight, whispering your name in her head when you're not there. Think of Daniel, 34. At first, he smothered his girlfriend, texting, calling, planning every moment together. She pulled away. Then he learned restraint. He gave her moments of deep connection, eye contact, touch, presence, and then he stepped back. No over-texting, no chasing. Within weeks, she flipped. She was the one initiating, asking to see him, craving the intensity he created and the absence that followed. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If she spends her thoughts on you when you're not there, you've already dyed her soul. That's the art of rhythm. A shift. Stop smothering. Stop thinking constant presence equals commitment. Be there fully, then pull back with discipline. Intensity and absence are the heartbeat of devotion. Number 7. Lead without asking permission. This is the final piece, and it might be the most important. Women don't want to drag you forward. They don't want to plan every move. They don't want to be the leader in the dance. They want to feel you lead, not by force, not by control, but with calm certainty. If you hesitate, if you constantly ask permission, she will never see you as the man of her life. Psychologically, leadership signals competence. Competence signals safety. Safety creates devotion. When you lead, even in small things, you trigger her instinct to trust you. She can relax into your direction. That's when her femininity unfolds. And that's when she looks at you not just as a man, but her man. Picture Adrian, 39. He was always polite with women, constantly asking, "What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?" First it seemed thoughtful. Over time it became exhausting. Women drifted. Then he changed. He started leading. "We're going here tonight. Be ready at 8. I've got this." Suddenly, the same women who once lost interest were leaning in, drawn to his certainty. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Decide to be a leader, then led. Don't wait for her to hand you the role. You embody it and she'll follow. A shift. Stop begging for direction. Stop handing her the wheel. Led with calm authority. Because when you do, she'll stop wondering if you're the man of her life, and she'll start knowing it. Step back for a moment and look at the full picture. A woman doesn't see you as the man of her life because you flatter her, or because you give her gifts, or because you try harder than every other man. She sees you that way when you embody principles most men abandon. Respect, frame, safety, purpose, composure, rhythm, leadership. These aren't tactics, they're pillars. And a woman builds her devotion on pillars, not tricks. Here's the truth. The man of her life is not chosen by accident. He's not chosen because of fate or luck or charm. He's chosen because he's built himself into something rare. While other men chase validation, he chases mastery. While other men crumble under emotion, he stands unshaken. While other men orbit women, he walks his own path, and she chooses to follow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." If your ambition is to be liked, you'll be forgotten. If your ambition is to master yourself, to stand tall, to embody strength, then she will see you as the man she cannot replace. Remember this. You don't make her see you as the man of her life. You become it. You live it. And when you do, her recognition is inevitable. It's not something you demand. It's something she feels in her bones. Now the choice is yours. You can walk away from this video, keep living like every other man, reactive, needy, replaceable. Or you can step into the discipline that makes you unforgettable. If you're ready for that, prove it. Drop the phrase, "I am unshakable," in the comments below. That's how I'll know you're not just listening. You're part of the brotherhood. And if you want more, if you want the raw, unfiltered truths that separate weak men from the men women fight to keep, subscribe right now. Because every week, I'm going to hand you the wisdom most men will never hear. The kind of wisdom that turns you from just another option into the man of her life. Remember this, brother. She doesn't need a man. She needs the man. And the question you have to answer is simple. Will you become him?